Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate everybody's comments, appreciate those folks that have subscribed already. Hopefully I have this sound thing fixed so you can hear me a little better this go around. So we are starting the actual game, White Star Rising, from the Nations at War series from Lock and Load Publishing. Now if you remember, our scenario is called a Bloody Victory. This is the D-Day landings, United States versus the Germans. And we have some special rules for this scenario. One is the German battalion will activate first on turn one. You do not remove its formation marker. This says in the cup, but I use the cards, remember. If it's not pulled, the German player does not hold an in-turn marker out of the cup for turn two. So if after his first go, if he doesn't get another go that time, he still takes a chance of not having an activation on turn two. Okay, number two is to reflect problems with amphibious tanks at Omaha Beach. You roll a 1d6 for each platoon before setup. On a roll of 1 or 2, the unit is reduced. Headquarters is not affected by any of the reductions. Remember, the U.S. also has 3 HE fire missions this game. Only 2 can be used in any given turn. And the last special rule, the American can use his turn 1 fire missions before any unit activations, including 107's first activation, obviously to simulate a pre-invasion bombardment. Okay, so with that said, the first thing we probably need to do then is roll for the U.S. tanks. You'll notice got a nice little dice tray there. The unfortunate thing about this is it doesn't quite focus on the dice since the base is a little bit lower than the top of the dice, but it'll work. So in our camera we have, you see my setup here. These are the tanks. Got the tank HQ and then 2 tank units underneath it and 2 in this stack here. So let's just roll first for this stack, and both units are the same, so we're just gonna roll the dice, and it doesn't make any difference really which one gets reduced if it does. So on a roll of 1 or 2, a unit is reduced. And you can see, although it's not quite in focus, like I said, we are good there. Second roll, another stack, again 2 dice, and we do have one of them will be reduced. So we'll just do the bottom one. The bottom one is reduced. Everybody else is intact. Okay, and remember the German with the special rule, the Germans get that first go, but the U.S. excuse me, the U.S. will do their bombardment. Probably will do 2 of them. So what the bombardment is, you'll see that they have 3 of them that are 3, 4. That means you roll 3 dice, and a 4 is a hit. So I think we have this HQ unit can basically see all of these guys. Basically can see everybody except back here. Nobody can see them. Because remember, this is elevated, and line of sight does not go past that initial hex, the crest hex. So this HQ definitely sees this stack here. Those folks have some deadly weaponry in there. You got a 20mm flak gun that can do some damage, obviously protect against aircraft, which there are possibilities of those in this game, this particular scenario. And then they have an infantry platoon with an HMG. So that would be the stack to attack. So we're going to roll 3 dice. 4 or better is a hit. And that is 3 hits. So in that case, what we have you have to distribute the hits evenly. In other words, all 3 hits can't go against one group or one platoon. So we have 2 platoons in there. Remember our improved positions, that nullifies 1 hit. So there are 2 hits. So that means both of these guys are going to be disrupted. And we also need, let's go ahead, we're going to have to roll another dice just to make sure that that HQ unit does not suffer anything. On a 1, he will reduce. He's good. So what we have is disruption. If I can pick them all up here. HQ's good. 2 units underneath him are disrupted. Okay, that is bombardment 1. Remember, he can do up to 2 on the turn, and I think that's probably a smart thing to do. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We got to go back and do some more. The barrage is on this hex, and I also forgot another thing, that they have to roll anything but a 1 to be correct. So let's do that first. It may have been a miss. So let's see, make sure the barrage is good, and the barrage is good. So we're good there. But the barrage also affects not just the hex you're aiming for, but also the 6 surrounding hexes. We don't need to worry about the empty ones. But we're going to have 3 dice rolled here against the 50mm anti-tank gun and the infantry. So back to the dice, and we have 3. We need 4s to hit. Not very lucky on that one. No hits at all. That takes care of the pre-game bombardment. So the barrage marker we can take off. Okay, now the Germans get their attacks. Well, actually, they get their activation. So we go through the summary, the full phases. So the first thing we do is unit formation marker removal. Well, since nobody's done anything, they don't have to do that. Check command status is the next step, and this is our HQ. Everybody is within 4 hexes of him. That's his rating, as you see there, the 4. So everybody's in command. We can perform rallies. We do have 2 disrupted units in here, and they both get to use the HQ bonus Their morale is 7, so they will need a 9 or less to be good. So the top unit is good. The bottom unit is also good. So they're both now in good order. Take the disrupted marker off. Okay. I think as the Germans seeing all these infantry and some tanks coming at them, they're going to be a little nervous. Lots of stuff to shoot at. Okay, we have infantry. We'll start over here to the left. This infantry has a range of 2 with the 2 firepower and a 5 to hit. So they can shoot at what is known as extended range, and that would raise their to hit to 6. If the unit is already at a 6, if their number here would be 6, then they would reduce their firepower. If they have a firepower of 1 and a to hit of 6, they can't do extended range at all. So I think these guys over here on the left flank of the Germans, see these guys here on the right flank of the Americans, maybe let's try to do a little skirt around here, outflank them. So they're going to take a shot at this infantry unit here on top. There's 2 infantry in this stack. So 2 dice with the 5 to hit is what we need. And we got 1 hit. Now, the U.S. units being on the beach have absolutely no help. So 1 infantry unit becomes disrupted. We'll just put him on there like that. He's disrupted. That infantry platoon is now marked with the ops complete, but we're going to be going right to the next guy anyway. So these guys have an HMG. Now remember, the HMG, this +1/+1 means their range is increased by 1 and their firepower is increased by 1. So these infantry with the heavy machine gun have a range of 3 and a firepower of 3. They still need a 5 to hit. So nobody is still within normal range. They're still extended range, even with 3. So he's going to take a shot at these same guys. Going to shoot at the disrupted, see if he can do some damage there. So we have 3 dice, needing a 5 or better to hit. And nothing. No hits from that group. Okay, so they are now marked ops complete. Okay, let's go back here to these guys. These infantry can't really do anything, but there is an 81 millimeter mortar underneath there. So that mortar's going to fire. HQ directs it. HQ can basically see everybody out there, and the mortar's range is significant enough, 14, so he can shoot at anybody on the map. Now, who do we want to shoot at? I think we're going to target the HQ stack there, and the mortar affects everybody in the hex. It's not like the direct fire where you have to pick out one of the actual platoons. So this will affect everybody. Now, so we have 2 dice, needs a 5 to hit. And we're just rolling against that stack. 2 dice, 5 to hit. That is 2 hits. And again, you have to even it out, so you cannot attack, put both hits on 1 unit. So our units in here, we have an infantry with a heavy and another infantry. So both of those are now disrupted. Now, since they suffered a disruptive, they have to roll for that HQ unit. Roll a 1, he becomes reduced. He's good. Back to the map. And we'll mark the mortar with an ops complete. Okay, let's move up here to our HQ unit. And in there with him, he has an infantry platoon with a heavy machine gun and the 20mm flak. So there's 2 units in there, but only one can benefit from the HQ's bonuses. So I think we're going to put those bonuses with that flak, and they're going to shoot. Let's see, what do we have here? They're going to shoot at the dudes with the heavy machine guns. So the flak has, we'll move this guy around. See, the flak has 3 dice and needs a 4 to hit, but with the HQ's help, you're going to get 2 more dice. So 5 dice with a 4 to hit. And let's see, I'm going to have to use kind of an off one because I've only got 4 of the blue ones. I've got a light blue one. So we've got 5 dice, we need a 4 better to hit. And 2 hits against the dudes with the machine guns. So they're already disrupted, so the first hit will reduce them, the second hit will eliminate them. Now, in this game, when a unit carrying a support weapon is eliminated, the support weapon also goes away. And the 20mm, the flak gun is ops complete. But we have the infantry with the machine gun. And this time there is somebody 3 hexes away. So it's going to have 3 dice and need a 5 to hit. And let's see, which one we want to go against. Sorry, I forgot to switch the camera back over. HQ unit, the infantry with the machine gun is firing. And well, we'll pick these guys here. So, 3 dice, 5 or better to hit. One hit. So that will be a reduction. I'm sorry, not a reduction, a disrupted. Okay, that makes everybody in that hex now ops complete. Okay, our next unit. We have an anti-tank gun, 50mm anti-tank gun here. It's got a range of 3 against or 4 against armor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still out of. So the armor's still out of range, and these guys are not. So 2, oh yeah, 2 with a soft target, 2 dice needs a 6 to hit. Not quite as effective, but it's going to be what he's got. 2 dice, 6 to hit. Oh, we got 1 hit. So that is going to reduce these guys, and they're still disrupted. They're going to be off complete, but we've got infantry here. They have a range of 2, so they're going to have to go extended range. Which means they're going to have 2 dice and need a 6 to hit. Same thing. 2 dice, 6 to hit. They're going against the disrupted reduced unit. See if we can eliminate them. No 6s, no hits. That means they are now marked with an ops complete counter. I don't think this infantry is kind of my reserve, so I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Over here we have the bad boy 88 millimeter anti-tank gun. He is obviously going to shoot at some tanks. He does have line of sight to the HQ stack, so that's where he's going. He has a range of 9, 3 dice, and needs a 3 to hit. Pretty devastating weapon, obviously. And we're going again, and we're shooting at the HQ stack, and they're both the same, so it doesn't really make any difference. So 3 dice, 3 to hit. Two hits, so that is going to disrupt and reduce this guy. They weren't the same, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Going the wrong stack. We're shooting at the HQ unit, so we'll just reduce and disrupt that bottom dude. So the anti-tank gun is fired. The infantry, nobody's within normal range, so shoot over here, and I believe there's some engineers in there. So he sees the dudes with the mine clearing equipment, knowing he has some mines laying around there someplace. He's going to shoot them. So he's going to have 2 dice, and he's going to need a 6 to hit. And I got to remember to switch the camera view. My bad, guys. Anyway, this armored infantry unit here, 2 dice, 6 to hit. It's going to shoot over here at the engineers that are underneath. Okay. Remember, I'm still learning how to work all this stuff, and it's a bit confusing. Okay, 2 dice, 6 to hit. No hits. That is going to mark everybody ops complete on the German side. Right? Because this infantry is they're just going to stay where they're at until something develops. You know what? On second thought, since we have a potential outflank over here, I think he's going to boot scoot that direction. So he's going to move 3. Let's see. I don't think he wants to get anywhere where he can shoot him right now. But 3, yeah. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. Go right there, and he will be also ops complete. Okay. I had to step away for a bit, so we're continuing here. Board may have changed in its appearance in the jump, but we're okay. Everything's the same. So, as I said, we finished that first activation of the German battalion. So the next thing we do is draw a card. And it is an in turn card. You get 2 of those, the turn is over and nobody gets to do anything else. So we draw another card, and it's our Germans again. Okay. Unit formation marker removal. All the ops complete markers come off. That's everybody done. Unit command status, 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody is in command. This guy won't be when he moves over here, but, or he could, I mean, we'll have to roll for it to see. But, okay, rallies, don't believe the Germans have any. I don't believe anybody's, nope, nobody's disrupted there. No fire missions, well, let's see. No, I think we will have, going to have that 81 millimeter perform a fire mission. And I think we still need to concentrate on the HQ unit here. Because if we can eliminate, there's only one other unit in there, so he's already disrupted. So if we can eliminate him, that automatically eliminates the HQ until their next activation. The HQ would come back as a reduced HQ. So that's what we're going to do. So the 81 millimeter has 2 dice at 5. Two dice at 5. And nothing. And he is ops complete. Okay, so that's our fire missions. Now we perform operations. So the first thing is we're going to have this infantry unit move right there. 1, 2, 3. That way you can at least get a shot at somebody that tries to scoot around the flank. And that would make him ops complete. Next, in here, we do have, see, nobody is within 3 or 2. I think they're going to just stay because obviously the Germans don't get another shot this time, and the U.S. will activate. So we'll need them to be performing some opportunity fire. And the HQ unit has the flak underneath him. So I think we're going to shoot that flak again here. Try to eliminate that unit. So they're going to have 3 dice, and they need a 4. We're going to add the HQ, so that's going to be 5 dice with the 4 at that infantry unit. 5 dice with a 4. Two hits. Yes, it is. 2 hits will eliminate that infantry unit, because the first one will reduce, the second will eliminate. When a unit attached to the HQ is eliminated, the HQ is eliminated also. Again, that HQ will be able to come back. Didn't switch the screen again, but anyway, the HQ unit was eliminated. Put him just off camera to remind me that he does get to come back at reduced strength on the next activation for the U.S. So that marks the flak as ops complete. I'm going to switch these guys around a little bit. Put him at ops complete. Actually, the HQ is also ops complete. But that does leave a unit there. They're gonna hold their fire, I think. The 88 millimeter over here, I believe he's gonna take a shot. Because he's got people in range that he can shoot. And I think, what do we got back here? We've got a disrupted unit. So I think that's who we need to shoot at. Because again, if we can eliminate that person, the HQ has a chance of being eliminated because there is another unit in there. So it's not automatically eliminated. So the 88 millimeter is going to have 2 shots and needs a 4. Two shots at a 4. And that is 2 hits. And that will make him ops complete. That will eliminate, even more so, 1 would have done it. So that eliminates 1 of the tanks. Now, we'll just stay there because the HQ could be eliminated. Nope, he's good. Okay, so the 88 mil is ops complete. The infantry is okay. They're going to stay. I don't think that 50 mil can reach anybody, at least in the tanks anyhow. Okay. Excuse me. So I think everybody's going to stay. The rest of the Germans are going to stay where they're at for right now, and wait until the U.S. starts moving in on them. So, as the end of the German activation, who's up next? We have the armored folks are going to be up next. So that's over here. Okay, now we're going to go to the cards. Draw a card. Let's see. First, let's see. Let me make sure here. Not disrupted. They were just reduced. Okay. So let's draw a first card. And let's see if I can get that maybe in the focus a little bit. Okay. Okay, so nobody's at short range for the red ones. We do have, I believe, let's check, 5, 3, no, there are 3 on soft targets because these are still soft targets. So they have to be in range of 3. They could shoot long range, but our card, again, has execute counteractions for the blue, which is extended range. We don't have anybody, like say, in short range. We don't have anybody in normal range, effective range. And we do have execute counteractions of the blue. So the blue's going to take off. So let me see. Look at the solo assistant behavior table, and executing counteractions. They are in an offensive posture. So condition 1, see there says AEO moves onto map. We don't have anybody that needs to move onto the map. Oh, you know what I did forget. No, it's that HQ is eliminated. Is not with them. Sorry. Okay, condition 2. AEO within LOS of the most units Move or move and fire one towards cover unless already in cover. Okay, so move or move and fire. Okay, so they can we'll just start with them, and they're all going to be using the same order card, so pretty much everybody's going to be moving and fire. No, I'll tell you what, we're going to start over here because these guys are actually in, they are in the yellow. So let's see, can I just leave that there? Let's see if that shows up. Well, that didn't work out. Okay, so you see, just to make this, these guys are in short range. So let's go ahead and start over here. We got them doing the execute counteraction switches, move and fire, move or move and fire towards cover. So I could do either one of those. And I think, in my opinion, that's this way I'm going to play it. This HQ is going to move with this unit. Again, I don't really have a threat from these guys. And they have a movement of 4. So they can move and stay in. And they could just move straight up to assault, but I don't think that would be smart. Their objectives, obviously, are back here in this town. That's what they have to do. So, and let's see, which way might be the best to go here. 1, 2, they could get to here. At least they would have a shot. I think you may want to stay away from them, though. Don't get too close to the infantry. I think we're just going to move them 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, well, let's just do that. That's far enough away, that way they'll be able to shoot next time. So that makes them ops complete. So they did the execute counteractions. We've got 2 units in here, 1 reduced. So if we look there in normal range, we have a fire order. That's the first thing that comes down. So they're going to fire. They've got a 2 and a 5. Now remember, the improved position that they're in automatically absorbs 1, and then they would have that'll be it, because they're not in town or anything, so they don't have like a save roll. If they were in the city, they'd have 2 and need a 5. So okay, so the U.S. reduced M4A1 is rolling 2 and needs a 5. I got 1 hit, but that will be absorbed by the improved positions. So that is ops complete. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold that off because these guys are going to do the same thing because they have the fire order just like the other ones. So he's got 3 at 5. And again, forgot to switch. Just not used to talking so much when I'm playing the game. But I'm sure enjoying this. I hope you guys are too. So anyway, this unit is going to do the same. He's got a 3 at 5. And again, the first one will be absorbed. 3 at 5. That's 2 hits. And I should have named the target, but obviously he's going after the 88 mil. So that is going to put that one under a disrupted. So you're here, 88 mil is now disrupted. So I can get it off of there. There he is. Okay. And he's also ops complete. Infantry still good. These guys are both ops complete. Okay, so that ends the armored formation. That is their turn. Okay, so next card. Okay, everybody gets to go this turn. So the infantry gets to go. We will draw another card and see what we have here. I think it looks legible on my screen, so okay, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully it'll show up on yours too. Okay, so let's just go ahead and, forget things. Go in the right order. Unit formation, marker removal, nope. Check command status. Okay, first we need to bring on that reduced HQ and put him somewhere. He has to go in with another unit. And I'm not sure which one the best one is because he can't come on by himself and he's going to be separating. So do we go over here or do we go over here? This is the closest route to the objectives, which are here. So I think we're going to put him with these guys. That's where they'll be. So that does make us check command status for each one of these guys. So it's by hex. So we're just going to roll left to right on your screen here, right there. So 1, 2, we're going to have 3 different rolls because none of these guys are within 4 of him up there. I guess I could, if I put the HQ there, at least get him in. I hate to leave him by himself though. He's going to be safer if he's with 2 other units. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so everybody needs a 6 or less over here. So we're going to have 3 rows total because again it is by hex. Okay, so we need a 6 or less to be in command. Okay, the first hex is in command. Second hex is in command. Third hex is not in command. So these boys are not in command. Okay, then we perform rallies. We do have some folks that need to be rallied. So we're going to first rally here, and then we're going to rally there, and I think that's it. Let me double check. Yep. Okay. So we're going to have 2 rolls, and they're both going to need a 6 or less to rally. So the far left on the screen, they did not rally. And the ones closest to the HQ, they did not rally. So they're still disrupted. Okay. Perform fire missions is the next step. Even though I've already drawn this card, that's okay. Because we'll just use it. Now, you can do this two ways, maybe more, but one is you draw a card to see if they would actually perform a fire mission. Then you'd look on the card to see if indeed they did. And on this card, they do not. Again, I'm going to go under the assumption that any bombardments happen, right before they hit the beach. So we're going to take another bombardment, a barrage, against our HQ stack there. That's the most dangerous stack for the infantry, especially. Plus, it's the only one that's going to get two different hexes. So we have we have 3 dice, and we need a 4 better to hit, and the improved position absorbs that first one. 3 dice, 4 better, and it's a whole hex. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna throw this white die in there, and if it's a 1, then it's no good. Oops, never mind. So it is no good. So they are out of fire missions. Again, this game does not have like drift and direction and stuff like some other games do. It's just if it's a 1, it's off the map. Has no effect. Okay, so let's go with our orders here. We're just going to start over here, this unit on top. He is in long range. Yeah, he is in long range of somebody, so they're going to execute counteractions, which means we're going to go back to this solo behavior. And they are in offensive posture, so AO moves on the map. They don't have any of that. Within LOS are the most units move or move and fire. So he could only move 1 hex, and he'd still be at long range. So I think he's just going to try to move, and he can do a pretty good job of it because he's going to be at long range of anybody that wants to try to attack him. It's going to have to be a decision I make. So the first thing he does, he's going to move, and the half X's are in place, so he's going to move. And one of these days I'll figure this out. So you can see, looks like half X's are in place, so he's going to move there for 1. And now I have to decide, do I want to try to shoot at him? Still be long range for him, so no, I don't think we will. So he's going to move 2. I'm still not going to shoot. He's going to move 3. So he's scooting up our perimeter over there. And if this guy had not moved, if he was not ops complete, he could take an opportunity fire shot at him. So that's where we are there. Okay, so now we'll move over here to the infantry with the heavy machine gun. Again, they're going to execute counteractions, and we'll have basically the same result. However, he can move and fire. So he can move 1, because got a movement factor of 3, so they can move up to half their movement factor and fire. So he's going to move up 1. And while I'm thinking about it, let's mark this guy ops complete. So he can shoot because he's within. He's got the heavy machine gun, so he's at a range 3. Now, when you move and shoot, there's a penalty, obviously. And I believe it raises your to hit. I'm going to look real quick, see if I can find that. Okay, so move and fire. He's moved one, and if he fires, you decrease your firepower by one and increase your to hit by one. So he would be firing, in this case, 2 at a 6. He can't make it all the way up to the slope. He could make it right adjacent to him, but now these guys can fire. I forgot about that. I can opportunity fire because now he's in range. So that's what the Germans are going to do. We'll mark this guy here that he's moved one, and as soon as he moves, the dudes with the machine guns are going to open up. So they've got a 3 and a 5. So a 3 firing at a 5. Nothing. That makes them up complete. The other guys are still good. Ops complete. And that infantry's good. So he's moved one. Now, which is as far as he can move if he wants to fire. Does he want to try to move again? Well, no. Or he can either move or he can move and fire. So that's what the solo bot says. So he can't make it all the way up there because this costs an extra 1 to come up. If you go there, if you go there, if you go over here, actually. I think that may be the smartest move for him. You can make this flank a little more of an attack. So he's going to go there for 2. Now this guy can shoot, but it's going to be extended range. And probably needs to, because that's the only shot he's going to have. Because I don't think these guys are going to, he doesn't think those guys are going to come close to him. So that's what he's going to shoot 2 at 6. That's what he's going to need. 2 at 6. Nope. And that makes him ops complete also. Okay. And he's still got to move. So he's going to move his last one right there. Because that, he can't see him now. Because that's in the way. Okay. And this dude's saying, wait, I need some help over here. Okay, so we go to the next one. That's going to be these guys here. So they are only in long range. So again, they're going to do a move or a move and fire. Man, did I miss that? I think I did. Okay. I sit there and talked about it, and I don't remember rolling any dice. I'll either catch it in the playthrough or I won't. So, since I'm silly and did not do that, we're going to do that now. We've got, oh yes I did, that's right, I'm sorry. Told you, man, I'm old. I'm old. I forget stuff. Yeah, because that we rolled a 1 on it and it was ineffective. Okay. All right, now we're straight. So we're back to this guy. Are we going to move? He's going to move. He's either got to move and fire or just try to move. And so I think he's going to move and fire. So he's going to move one right there. And with that one, that puts him in range of the guys with the machine guns. So they're going to take a shot. They've got a 3 and a 5. That's what they're going to need. 3 at 5. 3 at 5. And 1 hit. So that will disrupt him and end his movement. And he will not be able to fire. And that makes these guys ops complete. So everybody in that stack is ops complete. We can put the HQ on top, ops complete. Okay. So now we come over here. They've got the same thing, same order. So does HQ want to move with the engineers or the infantry? I think we're going to send the engineers out on their own because they're going to have to come up here, see if they can't clear a mine or something. Reminds me, I can pop up that line over here for the Germans here. I had an idea in my head where I wanted them, but we'll see. Okay, so the engineer's going to come out. They are going to move 1 right there. That does not get him in range of anybody. I think he wants to shoot at long range. I don't think the defenders are going to shoot at long range, so he's going to move 2. Now, engineers can't fire, but these guys can. So they're going to take an ops fire shot at him. Opportunity firing. So they're going to shoot 2, and they'll need a 5. 2 and 5. Nope, no hits. And that makes them ops complete. Since he's just still going, he's going to move. I don't think he wants to get right next to anybody right now. He's going to go there. Probably not the smartest move, but I don't think you want to be right adjacent to somebody. Okay, so HQ. He's going to move with this other platoon. They're probably just going to move. He still doesn't get within range of anybody. So they're just going to move 1 there. Let's see, do I want to take a shot at him? He's 2 away. He can shoot. 50 millimeter can shoot at him. So that's what he's going to do. 50 mil's going to take a shot. He's got a 2 at 6 against these guys moving. Okay. Well, we got something flashing on it, so I'm going to have to stop again, and we'll start again. Okay. Battery replaced. I believe, if I remember correctly, these guys have moved 1, and the 50 mil AT gun is going to fire. He's got a 2 at 6. I hope that's right. Two at 6. Nothing. So their ops complete. Oops. And he's still up there. So they moved 1. And you know what? He is. No, he's still not close enough. I'm going to go ahead and move up with the engineers to be safe. And that means this infantry is going to take a shot at him. So the sorry, still ain't got that down. So anyway, HQ and the rifle platoon are moving here. And these infantry guys are going to take a shot. So they're 2 at 5. They're going to be ops complete. And they're going to be ops complete. So 2 at 5. That's what we need. One hit. So that will disrupt that infantry platoon, which means we're going to bounce in on the bottom. Engineers are still in good order. And HQ get over. HQ's ops complete. And since we had a disrupted unit, he rolls a 1, he's okay, he's good. So everybody on the US side is now ops complete. Right? Or disrupted and can't do anything. Okay. That finishes that card. And that is the end of turn 1. So we will go from there, and turn 2, we'll start the next video on turn 2. Thank y'all for playing along. Sorry it took so long. Again, I'm still trying to learn some of this stuff, how to operate things, and keep talking while I'm playing, which is not, I mean, like most solo war gamers, I do kind of talk to myself when I'm playing, but not this much. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. Thanks again for the folks that have subscribed. If you haven't, hit that little notification bell or whatever you call it. That way at least you'll know when another one comes out if you're interested. Have a good day, folks. Talk to you later.